Still into the post plant we go. Valin doesn't set his sights towards a player.
Turns the flash. Gun advantage, health advantage. And of course he falls. The mind game's being played and the shots come through for us, Bucks.
Smick standing here with Coach Goked after map number 1 on Bind as Leviatán take down G2 Esports in such a close map. The score was at one point 11-10. Both teams called a timeout. You had to face an eco round. What did you talk to the team about? Because we saw how even though you lose that eco round, you then went on to win the next 4 rounds to ultimately win the map.
Well, basically, we're having good advantages, but we were losing them, so I just wanted them to play proactive instead of them playing on us. And then I saw they were struggling a bit on A post plan, so I just wanted to force that scenario, and it worked good for us.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, and best of luck on map number 2.
Welcome back to the desk, folks. First half, very chaotic gameplay, I think, in general, and Goked points it out. Leviatán want to be proactive and interrupt some of these timings. We're talking like in a post plant on the attacking side, they're swinging behind a flash just to interrupt the defenders.
Sometimes they're not even letting the plant go down because it's just mollies, nades, everything. I mean, they got so many kills or big damage onto the spike planter repeatedly on their defensive half.
And I think we saw G2 come in with a really similar game plan to what they played against 100 Thieves. Against these flash combo comps, they like playing this really slow attack side where they're baiting out that aggression, finding the weak side, and then setting up to have that pause in the mid-round to punish the flood retakes. And that was working initially because Lev realized that they weren't going for as many active moments, but that meant we were constantly playing into these heavy numbers versus heavy numbers retakes, which meant a lot of the rounds were like descending into chaos.
Yeah.
What post-plant mollies can work out, who can win out in the clutch.
And sure, like G2 were 6 out of 10 in their post plants, but there were a lot of rounds where things got messy, right? I'm thinking of the anti-eco round where they're in a 5 versus 2 situation, and then it's a full stick somehow through all of the chaos. They were able to win some again towards the end, but really, had they been able to lock up those rounds that they had a convincing advantage in the post plant, with up 1-2 players, they should have had this map.
Yeah, and the guys I think deserve a lot of credit for winning a lot of those scrappy retake rounds was Osbots, and in particular, Kong. This guy had a great map. He's generally like a super supportive player. It's going to be lower in the frags, but he was winning out or at least getting close on a lot of critical clutches. And I think the way he was conserving Sky utility for the late round on defense to set up for those kind of last minute wins was definitely make or break on Bind.
I think it's also worth shouting out how Kingg sort of IGL'd on that attacking side as well, because there were a few moments where either they got scouted out earlier, they lost a player, and they slowed down in their rounds before going for the rehit, which were able to find windows where G2 had sort of emptied out space.
Yeah, I think their read on the attack was also really good, playing a lot of these kind of like slow contact rounds, punishing a G2 who loves playing that flood retake and isn't always going to be so proactive about that extremity control. So honestly, a really good map from both teams, but this puts G2 in a tough position, losing their pick.
I definitely felt like a must-win map for sure. Curious to hear from G2 now. With that map pick of theirs gone by the wayside, what they're looking to do heading into map 2.
Smick standing here with Coach Josh ahead of Breeze. On that map, we saw it didn't go your way. However, earlier today when we spoke with Icy, he talked about how you guys were feeling very confident in this rematch from the close 2-1 loss last time around, knowing that this is a best of 5, which changes prep, and knowing that this is also Icy's first BO5. And with 1 day to prep, what did you choose to focus on?
All about us, really. I mean, like, you can only prioritize so much. And so I felt like in the 100 Thieves game, we kind of fell apart in the late game. And we just talked about like what solutions we can provide like in those moments where we should rely more on each other and make sure the teamwork is always there. So this is a good test to do it again right now and see if we can bounce back in map 2.
Absolutely. Best of luck on Breeze.
So we are talking about a team who are famed for their ability to develop a game plan and tailor it to a specific opponent. And Josh RT is saying, with only 1 day, all we could do was look inward.
Yeah, and that makes sense in how they were playing that bind map in a similar way to just yesterday. But this is where maps become a problem for them now. They had to win bind because remaining in the pool are both Breeze and Lotus, the 2 maps that they got owned on by Leviatán their previous matchup. Now they must turn it around and somehow win one of those if they want to advance to the final.
I think when you're talking about a BO5 too, there's also kind of the worrying aspect of momentum, right? Leviatán have a great comeback to close out and win on Bond. Now they're going into a Breeze where they're super confident on, where Aspas has come out the gate with a pretty hot map 1, and where they have looked great against pretty much every team they've played there.
You don't beat Aspas on Breeze.
Yeah.
You just don't do that.
And that was a middling map by Aspas' standards, but we saw last
still
time.
tough frags against these Aspas.
This was like a 13-6
Yeah, he didn't have 40 kills.
By the way,
so it's middling.
True.
the only other time G2 have played this map, this stage, was against Leviatán. So they're going to have to run that back, and if they've been looking inward, that's great, but they'd better look outward at the behemoth across the stage.
If they're looking inward, my kind of concern is what comp are they going to be running? They went for the solo Yoru last time. Most teams play that Yoru Jet, and I wasn't super in love with it, and they're going to not make a pivot in terms of that solo duelist, but they're going to add the Astra in the mix, which I think gives your Yoru a ton more options. We've seen a lot of teams pick this up. Those global smokes combined with the TPs flashing out, there's a ton of cool ideas there.
Yeah, the combos on the attack to teleport into those smokes are very big, but I think the global ability of Astra that you mentioned is what is so critical, especially on your defensive side. You have the ability to shut down chokes on both B side and A side, because you have Cypher Viper, you can unlink those and be very strong on their own. Astra is an immediate second pairing that makes your hold so strong.
That means like you have a lot of horse control as well. There's so many lanes on this map as well, but now you have the ability to have a lot more impact over those.
Yeah, it lets you use your Cypher utility a lot more for like information spread out where you're setting that up, because your stall util is so strong. Like the pivot for G2, let's see if the game plan is good enough to come back in this map.
This best of 5 is far from over. Even if Lev feel favoured on this map, let's see if G2 can bounce back. And we're going to head over to your casters. It's Brett and Sideshow.
Far from over indeed here, but we're heading into Breeze, and as the desk has already been discussing, right, you know, this hasn't been a good map for G2, you know, with their composition done a smidge of trolling, some might say, in the past, ever so slightly.
You're not a fan of the Yoru?
I'm not a fan of the solo Yoru, but I'll hold my tongue for now until I see what they've got cooking, because listen, a loss can reveal quite a bit, and this team, I think, will be able to learn quite a lot from that prior VOD that they have, and that loss, right, to Lev in the past.
Yeah, of which, in that prior game, the last time we saw G2, as Mitch was talking about on the desk, they only won 2 rounds on their attack side.
Right.
We're about to see them start on defense, so we can pause those concerns until we get to the halftime.
Put a pin in it.
Yeah, we'll put a pin in that, but we need to see the defensive game plans looking really strong. I think on defense, the Astra actually, compared to the Harbor they were previously running, massively different on the defense side. You're trying to put smokes over towards A so that you can play inside of them on the site to anchor. You're thinking about putting pulls at the entrances, those kind of things. And that means you're probably trying to stop Lev getting through choke points instead of playing retake setups, which you would more be looking at with the Harbor. So we're looking for a different complexion here. It seems like there might be a small delay.
Yeah, I was wondering, what's got Kingg so sad?
Yeah.
Puckering his lips up.
That'll be the slight pause that's happening over here. It looks like one of the G2 players, by the looks of things, could be on the left side, actually.
Could be on either side.
But yeah, small audio issue that is going to be getting resolved here before we head into Breeze. But I think this gives us time to talk about things, right? I think one of the big reasons we have not been seeing G2 play very much of this map is because, yes, the composition isn't also very strong in the meta right now, but it doesn't even play to their strengths, I think. Their new duelist player, Icy, is not as explosive as a player, at least in matches. We've heard he's incredible in scrims, but he's also not been that much of an op player, which is incredibly important on Breeze in general. And so compare that to Aspas on the other side, who is a dominant force to be reckoned with. Probably the best player at the moment in Americas. And you could even take the at the moment out of that, because a legacy player who's been up at the top of all of our world rankings across his entire career. Yeah, I believe the lore behind that is that was his partner's gift to him, and so that's like
that's cute.
a thing that he keeps around with him. Listen, if it's not the real lore, that's my headcanon.
Okay, no, I appreciate that. Misinformation on the internet, I love spreading it. Excellent.
But I think that's the case. So yeah, in my eyes, very firmly focused on the Aspas Icy impact battle. Not necessarily them going up head to head per se, but more what value are they getting for their teams. And on the defense side, how well they're working around Valen's Astra.
Let's get it started then. Pistol round to begin. On to Breeze. Defense side for G2.
And speaking about Valen's Astra, this is the smoke that I was mentioning that you will frequently be getting on site for other people to play around.
It's real nice for the anchoring players.
So certainly is.
Just cuts up the site as the attackers try to get involved. Position being played here by Leaf.
Another one where comms utility is the fake.
This is very forwards in terms of just position, but there will be no signs of a punish. And okay, Icy is just removed from the fight. As quickly as that, Jonah P have to see if he can stall and delay this one out with a stray snake bite, but be thinking it maybe favors the Lev players. Still gonna slow it down. Dart rebound, shock darts as well to delay. Trying to pull rotations potentially into Mazzino, who's just locked himself down into mid. There is no attempt at the plan just yet.
He's waiting for the mid lurk. He knows that there's going to be one, and he's found it. Great awareness from Lev before the plan.
Jonah P might be able to sneak himself into another one. Slight spot, and no one is wise to it.
Down A.
Combining it together, him and Trent. Really just Jonah P.
30 seconds left.
Mazzino, how do you know where this guy was playing now? It's just out in the open. Seeking a fair fight, but he will not be given it. G2 too good with the discipline. Jumping wide to just offset that aim. Pistol round. Really stolen back from the brink there by G2.
I was all ready to talk about Icy versus Aspas. The fact that Aspas gets the first kill, neutralizing Icy and taking away that space. And as soon as Icy goes down, it looks like you can't play around the smoke anymore. But then Jonah P somehow sneaks back in with a second smoke from Valin to allow that play to work. I mean, that is sick usage of the Astra in that spot. The most value you could possibly ask for. And Lev are going to need to dominate those smokes and have ideas of how to get inside of them, either by double facing or using util. Oh, I got ourselves a tag pause after the pistol.
Couldn't escape it.
Well, we've got a long BO5 ahead of us. You want to make sure that everything's working properly, I suppose. Already we're seeing that G2 do have some decent ideas about what, how their defense system is going to operate.
Revisiting, the composition again, but this time with the Astra in it. It does give you, like you said, you see that smoke we've already pointed out. I think it gives you a lot of util to set up and refight as well. I know on the attack side, you're going to be finding them in the post plan. A little bit shored up and better. I'm going to pull to try and play Kingg. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like
the problem.
Yeah, the sad face that Kingg pulled at us earlier on, I guess it was his audio issue then, because it's crop back up again.
We will have time, potential to run some assets as well. Some stimuli on the screen for me.
The stimuli is watching Kingg talk to the admins.
That's not good enough. I need Subway Surfers. I need it in the corner. I need dancing fruits. I need different stuff.
This is a clash between two teams. Different ends of the spectrum in terms of people's expectations. I think everyone's expectation here, we heard it from the desk as well, is that Lev should be coming out and winning Breeze.
Yeah, expectations, though, are... listen, they've been flipped on their heads over the course of this stage, and even the playoffs themselves, I think.
I mean, they were in map 1.
Yeah, certainly. Well, I hear that we heard from Tex a little bit earlier about a familiar opponent, of course, his team, maybe a little bit more. We're going to be gleaming from this song. Take it away.
Yeah, I wouldn't say you have to be really scared of anyone individually in that team. No offense to my boys. But they play really, really well as a team. It's not one guy peeking you, it's 3 guys peeking you. And they do have some individual shooters, I'm not going to lie. I think Leaf, Trent, Valen especially, Jonah. Honestly, all of them, they're all insane. So just got to watch out for their teamwork, really.
If you're looking at individuals to take over from the side of G2, as Tex describes his former team and their strengths, I think on this map, Leaf is certainly one that I would be looking for. You saw him walk out on the pistol round as well. It's going to be pretty solid when he's in an anchor spot. But he's also, if you just look at the stats, the maps where Leaf is able to play Killjoy are where he comes alive. And the beginning of this BO5, he's on Viper and then he's on Cypher. It's not really his strengths personally, even though G2 we were expecting to get out to a decent start. I think it's going to be a team effort.
It's a good point. Yeah, it's a great point. Honestly, if I'm thinking in my head, it was rolling through like, do I want to test production? Can I ask them for a stat card of Leaf on Killjoy versus Leaf on Cypher?
I couldn't tell you the numbers off the top of my head. I can tell you that.
There's a difference, though. There is a difference.
There is a big difference, yeah. But I think some of that, you've got to say, is also down to the fact that they just haven't been winning on Breeze. It's not like I've done a deep dive into how good Leaf is on Cypher, but I think some of it's for sure just the fact that you're more tethered to your sight.
Yeah, the best maps really are when Leaf is playing a Killjoy as well, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah, I think that would be fair to say. But they're going to have their hands full dealing with this Leviatán team. And it looks like the situation might be starting to get resolved here as we get the in-ears back in and Kingg loads on the over-ear headphones, testing things out and looking to get back into round 2.
Yep. Get the energy back up as well.
Exactly. I think that's a big thing for Lev. They were talking about that yesterday, about getting energized, about feeling it. They're already 1-0 up in the series, but you don't want to take your foot off the pedal. You want to make sure that you're still bringing your A game in all of these spots, and especially because some of the things where we've really seen Leviatán thrive are where they are able to pick a moment and go for a fight. And actually calling those timings, that is based on your, how you're feeling in the moment, and not just going into the autopilot of playing your standard protocols, looking to try to disrupt.
Well, we're getting into the action soon enough, it looks like. The chairs are back up, propped up, in position.
Yeah, anytime Aspas goes from horizontal to vertical, you know it's getting real.
And straight into the eco round for Lev. So, plenty of time to think about what they might want to do on this round here. Deep knife. Again, that's going to be catching on to Leaf. They're going to go fast still to pull. It delays the eventual push and pull from all these players, but eventually going to be overwhelming that spot still. Valen's there to pick up the pieces. The aim on point.
Down B.
And fast hits like this over towards B, they're just not going to be that successful for Lev. Com takes one, but when you have to get through the pull, Icy's got a teleport over here as well.
And there it is.
And you've got Leaf setups to try to get through. That's way too much.
I'm going to be paying close attention, I think, to Leaf's positioning here on the defense. One of the things I notice is, when you see a Cypher player and are uncomfortable, and they're playing that tight one and done corner, you get caught out by a knife more than often. If that keeps happening...
At the same time, though, Brent, even if he's suppressed in this position, that pull on the floor, and the fact that you have Viper utility to potentially play around too, it does give him a little bit of a buffer.
Yeah, you're right. Supportive util, just so that they can delay.
G2 have just got so many layers to what they can do on the defense now that they've added the Astra into the equation.
Moving around the players as well here for the bonus round. 3 grouped up. Dart reveals all, though. Jonah P is actually tucked up close here. Onto the angle, we'll have to retreat. Bit of damage exchanged. Zaspas has dropped down as well.
One of the things that G2 don't do very much of on their defense side across all of their map pool is try to re-clear and look for info back in these kind of spots. Icy doesn't do it because he's not particularly aggressive and they don't have as many set plays. They're going to invest the drone here, though, and Trent realizes nobody's in A main anymore. Unfortunately for G2, it's only Leaf right now defending the B site, and Valen's got to book it to get over there in time.
Going for a split. Players up through mid. Holding the ground for now, but with the cage up to try and cut up the sight line again. They're going to be sending it forwards at least with that drone broken. Knife against the back. That's going to be taken down the setup, but not before the cages are sent up and flying. Dart revealing, but weaving in and out. Valen.
Spike down.
Definitive chances for him to do the most and Leaf. This guy, he's just an actual imposter in the midst of them. But as the war fades away, so do some of the chances, maybe, for Leviatán. Kingg going to try and bail them out. Carve out a path for success. Trent is left alone in a 1v2. A flood attempt from this team brings it down to this. Only advantage Trent has, which is Spike being down, but he's missed the timing. There's a chance there for the shot, wide and out! The players not ready! They can't contain this guy!
That's an unbelievable 1v2. The recon dart distracting Com in the moment, and you see it. Former teammate there, Tex, stunned by what he's witnessed. 3 rounds in a row now for G2. On the bonus. Red Bull clutch here. Look at this. Recon thrown through. Finds the timing just as Kingg swings out from pillar. And Com's crosshair placement is off because he had to break that recon. Trent's amazed. What a play to go for there.
Could barely believe it now, unfortunately. Some bad news.
What's the bad news,
It's another audio issue.
Another tech pause?
It's another tech pause, another audio issue. I mean, I'm not sure who the culprit is.
I might be able to take a solid guess.
Yeah, looking over at the stage. Yeah, some problems not being solved for it still. How many more talking points do we have? Oh, he's gone.
Yeah, this is becoming a serious
Yeah, we're gonna have to get our best people on the job for that one.
I mean, that is our best people, and they're doing
Not
a great
me.
job. Not you. We're not going to
me.
send you flying under the desk.
Give me a toolkit, I'll get it solved.
Absolutely not. But yeah, spectacular stuff there from G2 to get up 3-0 at the start of this one.
It's a lot of momentum on a map that we would be favouring Lev, right, as a team, expecting it. I mean, I certainly think of Breeze in that way and fashion. It's a map where your best players can really flex and try and take fights.
I think this is a good opportunity as well, while it looks like this is going to take a while to solve, to zoom out a little bit from this match, right? Because yesterday we were talking a lot in that upper bracket final where G2 was playing against 100 Thieves about the winner having a big map veto advantage and setting up for that. 100 Thieves, with their win in Split, clawing things back towards the end after an 8-4 half that G2... I think Josh Artiel think that they let that slip through their fingers.
I would agree.
He was talking about it in that coach interview as well, the fact that they were focused internally on making sure stuff like that didn't happen.
On that match for G2 against 100 Thieves on Split, it was 10-4.
Yeah.
It was a 10-4 lead on Split, and they couldn't quite close out the map.
Yeah, you really can't let those get away from you. But again, this match is to get an opportunity to face 100 Thieves and look for revenge. Both of these squads have lost to 100 Thieves on the run through. And whoever wins here today is going to be in the grand finals of our mid-season playoffs for a chance to skip the Swiss stage, but an uphill battle. No matter which way you slice it, doesn't matter how dominantly you win here today. Even if Leviatán smoke this one 3-0, they are still going to be going into the grand finals with a map veto disadvantage, probably forced to play on the permabans, whether that be Sunset for G2 or Split for Lev.
Listen, a hell of a struggle. I mean, Sisyphus will be proud, I think, with the run they'd have to make. Really, they really would. Well, ahead of playoffs, we also sat down with Kingg to talk about why this guy became one of the best IGLs.
Bueno, la primera vez que me convertí en un IGL en VALORANT fue poco más de 2 años cuando estaba en Australs, y fue más que nada porque era un rol que había que filear y nadie quería hacerlo, y dije ya, yo lo voy a hacer. Y nada, desde ahí que al principio no me gustaba mucho, la verdad, me costaba, me daba como ansiedad, cómo hacerlo bien, y nada, con el tiempo le agarré el cariño, me enamoré del rol y nada, ahora feliz y orgulloso del IGL que soy hoy en día. Yo creo que ser el IGL tiene una carga muy grande, no solo por lo que implica, sino que cuando las cosas van mal, todos los dedos apuntan al IGL. Y nada, hay que tener mucha resiliencia para aceptar todo eso y aún así querer hacerlo y hacerlo bien. Es un rol estresante, pero al mismo tiempo tener la capacidad de poder sacar adelante al equipo, de ser como la persona de la que todos dependen básicamente, y que todos te sigan sin dudarlo, es una sensación muy satisfactoria.
Well, we're back into the action. Not quite yet, but we will be soon. I swear to God, we will be soon. I'm sure we're getting the issue resolved, and it looks like, yeah, players in the seats. So
yeah, players in seats.
Yeah, here we go. Fist bumps exchange. There we go. Ready to get this one going again. 3-0 so far on our map number 2 of Breeze. It's G2 converting that bonus round. Pretty decent beginning. Aspas, what's that doing in your hands? Nice little rifle.
Yeah, going for it because he's only 2 away from getting the Blade Storm active. So even if he gets absolutely nothing done here, a death will get him 1 away and then an ult orb in the next, and he's good to go. So a great time to get a hero rifle into his hand. But if you remember back, it didn't work on Bind. The one time they tried that strategy.
Let's see though. Looks like they're leaning into an A split, mid control and main control. You're going to be seeing probably Com using a drone. Rest of the team trying to follow up with it.
I mean, to be honest, it doesn't look like they want to commit to this. Aspas backing off. When you have a hero rifle, you kind of want to just post Aspas up and see if he can get a pick. And if he fails, see if he can, you know, someone else picks it up, maybe Kingg or something like that, and see if he can snowball around that way. Passing it between you.
Oh, good time with a drone. Trent is going to get that recognition. At least now they can hear the rumble of the footsteps against the corrugated metal. Right past this one now with Aspas and the dash now activated. He's missed the timing for it, but he's really cut up the corner. I mean, VALORANT now is going to have a hard time to try and really shut that one down, but he does so. Rooted to the spot. They will not be able to pass any sort of angles.
Great shooting from the IGL of G2. Stopped all of that danger in the round. There's no chance you can retrieve that Vandal. Alan's got it completely locked.
1 enemy remaining.
Cheeky timing from Kingg.
Down A.
Eventually punished. So 4-0. G2. This is a fantastic lead that they managed to gain, but Lev should now have the weaponry online. Of course, Aspas did invest, so he's going to have to somehow get an orb across the map. G2, they could fit that into their game plan.
Yeah, they absolutely could. I mean, the A ult orb is going to be the one that you go for most of the time. So setting up some kind of play here, where, for example, you have the Yoru try to flash around and triple swing over towards A main, something of that idea is what you'd be. Now, I see the timer paused at the top.
That's not, listen, I hate to say it. I hate to say it. But that is.
Now, when we talk about teams taking things 1 round at a time, this is not exactly what we normally do.
No,
but
we do not.
G2 are grinding this game out 1 round at a time.
Yep, even chewing the cables the night before. They're putting all the necessary plans into motion. Like, oh, we'll make sure King's audio is ruined, we'll get an early lead, we'll make them tilted, we'll start typing in all chat.
I mean, to be honest, it's very distracting when you have issues like this popping up. It can be very difficult to get your head back into the game even when they're resolved, you know? So definitely something for us to keep an eye on when it comes to Leviatán. You've got to deal with a lot of emotions when you're a pro player, but frustration's certainly one of them, and it can come in many shapes and forms. But listen, again, while we've got a chance to discuss things, I want to continue kind of zooming out a little bit. We've got all of our teams now settled for Shanghai across all of the regions.
Yes, we do.
And we were talking about G2 being that first Ascension team to make it. Well, there's actually another one in China as well. Dragon Ranger
Gaming.
Yeah.
Best logo, best name in VCT. That's what I'm saying. I mean, that team.
Yeah. So 2 of our teams from Ascension making it over to Shanghai. I think the expectations, they are quite different for these teams. In terms of where you would expect to place when you're going into a tournament like this, at the beginning of the season, we were all talking about it, and I think the expectations, they haven't shifted too much. Leviatán are a super team. You expect them to be winning tournaments or placing top 2, making finals, that kind of thing. Now, of course, there's other teams in our league as well that have those same expectations. Teams like NRG or Sentinels after their run at Madrid, who are not here. But for Lev, I think losing this match, losing this BO5 in the lower bracket final and being the 3rd seed into Shanghai, it's a bit... Yeah, it's great that they got into Shanghai, but at the same time, it's not where they would like to be placed. Whereas G2, it feels like they're running with house money now.
Couldn't agree more. I think it'll be a bit of a disappointment for them to end in that 3rd seed position. Well, Leviatán's IGL Kingg is returning to the global stage, and we asked him to reveal the things most important to him. Here are his essentials.
Bueno, en TikTok literalmente veo las cosas más random del universo. De repente, no sé, si me salen cosas de fútbol, me salen cosas de memes muy random. Literal, mi TikTok es una mezcla de estupideces. Hola, Américas, soy Kingg y estos son mis esenciales. Bueno, lamentablemente uno de mis primeros esenciales no lo puedo tener acá físicamente, que son mi familia. Tengo obviamente a mi madre, a mi padre y 2 hermanos y una hermana. Y también voy a añadir a mi novia como parte de mi familia. Nada, soy muy cercano literalmente a todos. Soy una persona, me considero una persona que es un mamón, por así decirlo, que se dice en Chile. Y soy muy cercano a todos mis hermanos siempre, así que es difícil estar como sin ellos, pero inclusive a la distancia siempre estoy hablando con ellos, ellos me preguntan cómo estoy y nada, hablo literalmente todos los días con mi novia, que es un pilar súper importante para mí, así que... Bueno, aquí está mi vaquita, se llama Nivancho, para mí es muy importante y... me es imposible ya vivir sin ella porque básicamente representa como un apoyo de mi novia, por así decirlo, que siempre que lo miro, por así decirlo, me dice como no importa como que estemos lejos, no importa que estemos a más de 10.000 kilómetros de distancia, siempre voy a estar contigo. Bueno, mi celular, muy importante para mí realmente, creo que siempre estoy demasiado pegado a él. Un poco porque como estoy tan lejos actualmente de mi familia, estoy siempre en contacto con ellos, con mi novia, estoy literalmente todo el día hablando, entonces me es imposible vivir sin el celu porque es la única manera de estar cerca de mi familia. Bueno, después tengo mi billetera. No puedo salir sin ella literalmente a cualquier parte que vaya, aunque sé que no la vaya a usar. Más que nada porque si es que de repente como que me dan ganas de comprarme algo, no sé, un snack, una agüita, una bebida, lo que sea, tengo mi tarjeta conmigo para comprar y también para siempre llevar el ID conmigo porque mi madre siempre me decía que hay que tener el carnet, como le decimos, por cualquier cosa. Bueno, básicamente elegí el teclado porque representa básicamente toda mi historia, mis inicios en el gaming y por la razón que estoy acá actualmente. Gracias a mi hermano más grande, entré a jugar a los 6 años. Nada, significa mucho para mí y literalmente ya no puedo vivir sin un teclado. Bueno, elegí el perfume porque ya hay un punto donde estoy viciado con los perfumes y nada, actualmente antes no era tan importante, pero a medida que fui creciendo me fue importando mucho como mi olor, entonces nada, no puedo vivir sin perfume y literal en cada ocasión lo uso. Muchas gracias por tomarse el tiempo de ver esto y conocer cuáles son mis ítems esenciales, así que nada, muchas gracias.
Welcome back, folks, to the desk here. During this series between G2 and Leviatán, it's a best of 5. We are unfortunately in a tech pause currently.
It's a best of 5 tech pause as well. It's our third one. It's evenly matched right now. It's a 2-1, I've been told.
We have, what do you mean? We've had tech pauses in every best of 5? Is that what you say?
No, I'm saying the
He's
matchup.
trying to make a joke.
I'm just making a joke, and it's just woo.
Oh, yeah, we're getting rolled by the tech pause, if that's what you mean.
Yeah.
I mean, Brent and Josh long since run out of material, but we are here, of course, to remediate that. That's right. Because we're in a tech pause, it means it's time for a tech PAWS. Yep, we're doing it again. We want you to send us pictures of your Valorant-loving pets using the hashtags VCT Americas or VCT. We'll share them to everyone here. And you have some time as well, to get those in, and we'll show them on the show as they come up. I'm not allowed to really partake in this because I've already demonstrated.
Yeah, I'm actually maybe I'll take a picture of this little guy right here, and this can be
That's going to be your little guy.
Is that yours?
This is my pet. Yeah. Look at him. He's so cute.
Yeah?
He's all right. At least when he sits up,
What is this rabbit from? Is he just like one of like the little animals that's around the map?
Yeah, he's the rabbit with the knife that's like sitting in a scent. You know, he's having the
a meal.
wine.
He's on Breeze too.
He's not having a beer on.
I said a meal.
Oh, okay.
I didn't say he's having a beer.
Whatever you say.
It's been a long day at work.
Really hotly defending the diet here of Mr. Rabbit Son. Yeah.
He's great. Is that his name?
I'm just calling him Mr. Rabbit Son.
All right, Mr. Rabbit Son, love it.
He's allowed. He's allowed to, even though we found him on Ascent, which is no bearing to anything remotely Japanese. But that's how I've decided it's going to be. I don't know.
How it is.
I haven't had a new pet in ages. You know, I've
Do you
got
have any
these-
pets right now?
I have a cat.
What's her name?
Hugo.
Hugo?
What do you think?
I love a cat with a human name.
Yeah.
Is he a boss?
Yeah, he is. He looks like he's wearing a tuxedo. So I guess we just picked a, like a boss-esque name
like
for
it.
him. Yeah.
Yep.
Here's the pet.
Whoa!
What? That cat is
Cypher
crazy.
Cat? Cypher Cat is excellent. Give me a tweet.
That's awesome.
Best tweet, actually, right? Oh my God! What?
Oh, the duck in a hat.
We do have something. Is that Sideshow?
That looks like a crochet.
That's Sideshow shirt.
I want to point out this is also their profile picture.
Yeah.
True.
So I did not
Wait,
have
do you
this
think?
one
Do you
ready?
think the?
I think it is the duck.
The duck tweeted this.
Did you know the ducks are free and you can just take them?
What? Just
Yeah. Who's gonna stop you?
I don't know. Law enforcement.
free.
What? Yeah, my honest reaction to that statement. That's incredible.
This dog looks disappointed.
Yeah,
This is
in
me
you.
at the tech pause.
No, this dog is not happy. This dog wants to see gameplay.
I'm thinking this is not the first time I've seen this particular one.
Cat
That's
on
a
the
good
sink.
cat.
Cat on sync.
Car
Cat
on
face.
sync. Son of car? Mentioned.
Yeah, he gets mentioned a lot on this program.
Who is this person?
Son of Car?
You should know Son of
He
Car.
was a player in like Challengers,
Yeah.
in Challengers qualifiers. Had like an insane game against Shopify Rebellion and stopped them from
Yeah.
qualifying.
Also, he's the son of Car.
Because the last time I heard it was Josh screaming at this, he was bodily
You live
dragged
in Los
out here.
Angeles. You should know a lot about Car.
I wish I didn't. I wish I knew much less about it.
Oh, that's
These are
a
some
beautiful
great
dog.
dogs. Shout out, we kind of skipped over the last dog, but I like the little
Wait, he has a Riot
looking
Buddy
up.
on his tag.
Oh, lit.
Yo, yeah, hit up Vipez FPS for the Riot Buddy, everybody. The IRL Riot Buddy.
That dog is actually the guy who runs Riot.
I believe it.
Yeah, he's the CEO.
Keep him coming, folks.
Okay. Ooh.
Aww. Oh, he's got a little cone on.
Donut. That's a great name.
Okay, so you like human names, but also names of food.
Well, he likes food
For-
names. I'm
for
a
pets?
human name fan.
Okay.
I'm just a general name fan.
I just like names.
I'm a
I love a good
two-syllable
name.
name fan.
Yeah?
2 syllables go crazy.
Really?
Uber, Mimi, Wild.
Wild. So you're saying you hate Wyatt?
Wyatt is a two-syllable name.
Wait.
What?
Wyatt.
Wyatt.
No, that's gotta be one.
Mimi, do you know how syllables work?
Wait, you're right. I didn't do great at that little clapping game.
No,
in elementary
who I hate
school.
is Brent. One syllable? Are you kidding me?
How is Brent one?
He's a one-syllable
Shit.
elitist.
Okay, this is what? So
This is Jet Valor.
I'm assuming this is the cat's name.
Yeah.
No,
And it's not
that's
just like-
ancient.
That's also just
Here's
a
my thought.
high-quality
Also, here's my
photograph.
cat.
Yeah, this is like HD. This is like they pulled out the DSLR for this.
It's like a black and white photo, too. It's
no, I
crazy.
think it's
No,
color.
it's just a little.
It's just a black and white
just a little
cat.
moody.
Oh, going out for a walk? I
Yeah,
like
look at
it.
his That's a very long
I think
cat.
walking cats is extremely based.
I agree.
Yeah.
Especially, yeah. I mean, in Australia we have outside cats, so they walk themselves. You know what I mean?
I feel like that's.
Yo, what about the
Yeah.
what about the cat backpacks? Those go crazy.
you mean
when
the
they
ones where,
keep
like,
their little
you can see
heads
it?
out on
Yeah,
your
they're kinda
shoulder.
lit.
Oh my
There's like
God.
a ton of stray cats that live in my neighborhood, and like 2 of them just like will walk around on my fence and come into my backyard
Yeah.
and stuff all the time.
That's
Pretty
almost
cool.
like you have 2 cats.
Walked into my house once.
Oh.
Actually, multiple times. He was pretty chill.
Cool.
Cool cat. Again, also similar to
Take a picture. Tweet
Similar to
hashtag
ducks,
VCT.
if you see a cat outside, they're free.
All right, I mean, let's play another game. We've got some time here. We'll play another game of Where Are You At? You guys should know it by now. Actually, we haven't had that many tech pauses in recent
No.
so maybe you've forgotten. But Where Are You At?
I'm in
Very
Los
simple
Angeles.
game. Ender's very good at this, as is Mimi. Mostly Ender, though. We will
I
show...
own in this game.
Do you though?
Yes.
Oh, you're
Ender
going
was
down.
kind of cracked last time.
No.
We're going to show you a really small
Fake
portion
narrative.
of a map, and we have to guess which one it is, right? Which map it is from, right? So let's get started. Let's look at our first one here. I knew like none of these last time, honestly. Don't spend enough time in the server.
What?
It's Breeze.
Oh, yeah, the speakers.
It's the
Yeah,
speakers
yeah.
at the bottom
That
of the
is
bridge.
By mid, right?
Yep, it's in mid by attacker spawn.
Oh, I hope you guys have a lot prepared because we are breezing through these. We are ripping through them.
Oh.
I didn't want to own that pun. I actually just wanted to move on, but now I have to.
No, now you do.
Here we go.
Tough.
They did
Cat.
this
Yo, the sign in there even said cool cat. That was
Really?
my honest reaction to all those tweets.
That's awesome.
They totally did this up for the Clove release, right? They changed that part of the map.
Did they?
Yeah, I think they had like an album
play
cover that
Valorant?
featured Clove or something like that.
I don't. Maybe they did. They
I
probably
dodge
did.
when I get breeze. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes. Whoops.
All right, let's have a look at our next
the
one
problem
here,
with
our
rank.
second snippet from one of our Valorant maps. Okay, we're in a lot.
Is that Haven?
It's kind of. Yeah.
I feel like that looks like one of the
It looks
roofs
like
inside
the
Haven.
top of
side.
A on Haven.
Yeah.
But is Haven even legal for this game? Could
I
it be
feel
a
like-
Yeah, you know, we can do that.
That's a
fine.
curveball
I just haven't
throwing in
sat in
Haven.
I haven't sat in this map for a hot minute.
I don't know if it is Haven.
We're not doing deathmatch maps, right? It's only.
I think it's only like
yeah.
No, like
Deathmatch maps
pro
would
play
be
maps.
crazy.
Yeah, okay, that'll put us out there.
I don't think I
I'd
can
say-
name all the deathmatch maps.
No.
Could you name one?
So anyway, we're gonna have a look at which map that came from. I actually don't think so. No, I know them. No, I thought
Is
I
it
knew them.
Cospo one?
Casbah, yeah. It's like, yeah.
Sure. Is it
wait,
Haven?
It's like,
Is it
I
Haven?
hope it's Haven.
Split-esque, I thought.
It's
Oh,
Haven.
look at that.
Nice.
So
Nice.
out of
All right.
the rotation maps are in play.
Piazza.
That's good to learn.
Piazza?
Piazza,
Piazza?
yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Piazza, that is real.
Actually, it's so easy. God. All right, let's go. One more here. We got one more, folks, to guess here. Well, I basically just tack onto the answer of these two and claim credit for it.
Is
Ooh,
this?
I'm guessing Sunset.
Who's that in the photo?
It's Child.
This could also be
Is that like
Pearl?
a Young Rays or something?
Yeah. It could be like one of the shop windows on Pearl.
Yeah. I'm kind of split between Pearl and Sunset, though. Because I feel like those are the... Like,
I feel like I've owned the other ones. I've never seen this before.
yeah, I'm really clueless.
Where is Pearl set?
Pearl's underwater.
It's in it's
in
based
the
on
ocean?
Portugal though, I think.
Ah,
right?
yes.
Have you ever seen The Little Mermaid?
It has the same yellow tram from Lisbon. But it's like future and it floats instead
You
of being
would
on
know
rails.
that it's the same yellow tram.
It's just a very it's like a really iconic symbol of this.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Pearl.
I think that's a good guess.
Final answer. Because look, if I'm seeing like soccer setup, it's not Sunset.
No.
It's
why,
not
why
Los
would
Angeles.
there be like
People play soccer in Los Angeles.
No, they don't.
Soccer players in Los Angeles?
No, they don't.
Rise
they
up.
just don't. They don't.
It's kind of.
Doesn't Los Angeles have a soccer team?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
the
has
Galaxy.
anyone ever been to a
Galaxy?
game? No.
I don't know if it's.
No.
I feel
No
like
one
that's an
plays soccer in LA.
irrefutable
This
fact.
is just a fact. It's a fact.
Okay.
I would say like it could use a boost in general, but
Yeah.
it is.
We
Soccer
play
is played out here.
baseball here.
All right.
Yeah.
Football.
Get us out of our misery. Show us which map this one originates from. Is it Pearl?
And it is.
it's
It
Pearl.
is. Wow.
There you-
Okay.
whoa, you're
Nicely
kinda-
done.
Look at me
You
go.
kinda own.
I'm telling you.
You kind of own.
All right. There you have it. Okay. Well, the team is hard at work right now trying to fix the audio on stage, so we're going to have a quick tech time out. We're going to be back after these messages.
Excuse me, would you mind taking a picture of us?
Oh, no problem.
Thanks.
Ooh, yes, problem. You need Verizon. Trade in that old thing and get a new iPhone 15 Pro with tons of storage, so you can take all the pics. So many selfies.
A preposterous amount of panos!
That means panoramic.
And as many portraits of me as your heart desires.
How about none?
None feels right.
Trade in any iPhone in any condition and get iPhone 15 Pro on us. Only on Verizon.
Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you wings.
Still into the post plant we
Go, Valin doesn't set his sight towards a player.
Turns the flash. Gun advantage, health advantage. And of course he falls. The mind game's being played and the shots come through for Aspas.
Welcome back, everybody, to the lower bracket final of our VCT Stage 1, or our mid-season playoffs, rather. Thank you for sticking with us so far through this tech pause. Of course, we still got some more of your submissions from Tech PAWS coming through. And we'll, of course, enjoy them as they come. We're told we're not too far away here, but again, still sat in this break, still waiting on our experts out there to resolve the issue. How are we going? I mean, we can talk about tech pause. We can see them come through. We can also talk about the game. We have also seen a couple of notable things over the course of this series, right?
No, I don't want to say anything. I want to watch the game, Uber.
Okay.
Start the game.
So can we start the
game,
game,
You know what?
please?
Embodiment of chat on my desk. We're going to do just that. We're going to head now down to our casters who are ready to take us back in, everybody. That's right. It's time for more Breeze. We're going to join the game as G2 are 4-0 up on the defense side.
Okay, now before I let it in, move back into the action, and that was a lie. I lied to everybody, but this time I've been assured. I mean, listen, I was seeing a PC getting swapped out. There was a lot of trials and tribulations happening over on the stage, not necessarily even in the server. But Kingg, he's locked in, he's ready to go, and I believe that means we are also ready to go. 4-0 for G2. Finally, a bit of a buy online here for Leviatán. But again, cast your minds back. It feels like eons now. But Aspas did end up forcing into that prior round. So he's one away from his Blade Storm. And G2 could choose to cook up a strategy around trying to punish the orb grab.
And that was what we were theory crafting, this play over towards A. Icy late to the spawn barrier, but is in position to go for something aggressive. Aspas picks it up. They have to dodge the knife radius there, G2, so they're not in position to punish. But they do go for a reclear.
Yeah, late reclear as well. It's a dart and a flash. TP back, Valin. He's going to be catching the contact of a multitude of players. Nobody clears this corner. Barrel sticks out, but takes with the response. Does equalize it. Now the door opens wide. Smokes at the feet. Snakebite. Vulnerable out, but not enough really here for Tex to get anything going. Aspas still with the knives. Hobson over. Hunter's Fury. Shouldn't like fish in a barrel. Whacking your head though with the updraft. Aspas with the movement. Can't quite avoid it. 2v3. Kingg looked his way deep into the backline with a damage done. Set up prior. Doesn't know where to expect that secondary player. And Leaf shutting it down and bringing it to the 2v1. We'll play this one together. You can see that discipline, but shot through the wall. Leaf falling low. Com wondering which position to play from. Not knowing where Icy could be. As a dart, no theft. Advantage surely the G2 here, at least with the players, but it might just be a bit of those heroics. Shot dart close, backing away. Just needs the one kill to set things into motion. Haven't pushed him back and away, but he is guarded. And the fuse stuck, let loose as well, so Icy can earn up a dimensional drift.
And this is a disastrous beginning here for Leviatán on a map that really should be favoring them. I think it was 13-6 the last time these two teams played. Wow. I think I just saw a flash of a tactical timeout there. Yep. But bear in mind, guys, that the teams don't have the ability to talk to each other during these tech pauses. So it's not like the Lev coaches have been discussing strategy this entire time. They haven't had an opportunity to really adjust the flow of this game. All right, so this one, tactical, not technical.
Yes, tactical.
Don't worry.
Tactical this time.
Let's talk about some tactical things that went wrong in the prior round. Because for Leviatán, that triple walk-up halls I thought was a nice play, preempted by Valin. But then the actual engage out through the switch door was horribly mistimed. Tex got a snakebite at his feet and decided to go forwards. Aspas decided to go backwards, so mistimed already. And then when Aspas committed, bumped his head and the movement wasn't quite there, and it wasn't synced up with the rest of the team. So really missing these teamwork elements and not on the same page, Lev, in terms of the timings that they're going for. And really, that's down to a comms issue of, did Tex call the commit and Aspas didn't follow? Was it the other way around? Do they have a protocol there where they're supposed to be cancelling and it was a mistake? Either way, G2 sitting pretty here. A map we didn't think that they would be able to find huge advantages on, and they're 5-0 up to begin.
That's a hefty lead. Ult's online as well to see if they can turn the tide of this round as well. In particular, again, another one to break the back, I should say, of the economy of Leviatán.
Mazzino, one away from his KO ultimate. And so I think that's why they've
starting to flash.
Setup.
Real proactivity.
Oh, that's amazing.
And a delayed dart. When it lights them all up, Icy set up for a quick two-piece. And Trent, I mean, he's offloaded the Hunter's Fury to support, but it wasn't even necessary. Trent's in a different direction. Tex getting a run on and a move on, seeking to punish Trent. Locked away into the drone, but now he's the one who might just be punished. Doors opened up as well. Too many angles, too many sight lines. Knows that one's a clone, but how does he manage that? He just can't. It's traded.
These defense rounds are being played pretty much perfectly by G2. Icy there to back up Trent as well. And Lev, they found a gap into the B site, but they're in a 2v4. Forced to take a fight before the plank goes down, really. And this is where the discipline of G2 is just excellent. Valen's not really taking an aggressive position. He's on an angle where he's massively favored, and then Icy Leaf doubled up. And they've spotted the aggression from Lev. Now Lev are forced to go for the plant and just play the 2v4. How do Kingg and Mazzino work this?
Valen way ahead of the pack, but you're right, how do they work this particular spot?
Icy going into ult here does give them opportunities to gather info, but it does mean that that double up, Valen has to go and fight with Leaf now so that there's the buddy system intact.
Lost the one, Cosmic Divide. Split up the site, forcing a play now out of these players. No one to really disrupt this one. Who is going to be holding the wall? Mazzino catches the first, catches the second, right through the wall, Kingg! It's beautiful! Magnificent work from them, Jonah P. Blooms and blossoms the orb, a tap as well. Just wondering where Mazzino's position could be played! And out in the open! What a turn of events here for Leviatán.
The least likely of the rounds for them to be able to take away a 2v4. Played brilliantly by Mazzino in particular. He got one with a peek playing backside, and then the second off screen. Let's take a look at the replay. Because this one, back of the head of Icy, who just didn't quite realize where Leaf had died from. Normally, these are the rounds that G2 clean up very nicely. Buddy system, double up, trade people out. But Lev found those aggressive peak timings, and G2's set play comes to naught. Remember, the beginning of that round was absolutely fantastic, and they invested huge ults there as well.
So a bit of a full reset when it comes to that ult economy.
Yeah, and again, because Mazzino has his KO ultimate up, you see Leaf here playing inside halls with his setup over on the opposite side of the map, so he can't get shut down by the null command. So two separate anti-KO setups, one aggressive and one, this one, more passive, but both achieving the same goal of making this hard for Lev to get into B.
It's almost too readable here for Lev. Shot down close, just in case. Trips is still up here, Nepal and a snake bite! Combined might. Can't get past the choke point here, but lit up gives him an opportunity. Trent, take it out with a wall bang. Still playing a bit of patience for G2. Slow this one down here, give them access to the site. Still open fight as well to be taken on these sightlines, but it's only Com who's left alive. We'll try and get this plan down as well, but the back sticking out means he's even denied that. No chance of the extra money.
That's a fantastic anti-KO setup. You've got the pull, and Valen's on the opposite side of the map. You've got two trips to play around. Not that they had as much impact, but still, that pressure, that fear in the minds of Leviatán. And then you've still got the snake bite that comes through from Jonah P right before he's taken offline and suppressed. Beautifully worked there, G2. 2 rounds in a row. Yeah, they didn't win in round 6, but the actual game plan, the setup, was still immaculate, and it took a hero 2v4 to win it for Lev. So far, G2 are playing an amazing game on Breeze.
It's a map that we didn't really accredit to them.
Yeah, and the reason for that is that when things went to the attack side, they only won 2 out of 12 rounds last time. Hopefully, they've made that look a bit better. Otherwise, we could be in for a storming comeback come the side swap.
That's true over the top here. You can look at the pulls that's being used. G2 seeking to delay the inevitable here, which is the overwhelming might of Lev, seeking to take some names and potentially some guns if they can get access to the side as well. Jonah P, head on a swivel, knows he's being postured and approached onto this spot. Can't open himself up and needs some teammates to back him up still. Evened out now. 2 left to stand. They know what Atlas's positioning is in a crouched peek from Valen.
Planted the spike. My ultimate is ready.
Too hard of a fight here for Aspas, and Tex now left essentially an unwinnable scenario. Unless he can hit some miracle shots, but G2 never one to let anything slip.
especially considering they just lost a 4v2 in round 6, making sure that they triple up in that spot and offer Tex no opportunities to deal a death blow to his former squad. Clean anti-eco there. I think it's fair to say G2 have completely dominated this half already. Even if Lev run it back all the way, this is still a very successful defense side. And it would be surprising to see Lev turn it around at this point. They've got a Hunter's Fury to try to work with. Com's normally good at being able to get a pick. You know, you'll often see the Hunter's Fury coming along this lane of the map, putting pressure along where the classic Cypher position is.
Right here. Well, pit down over towards A. Knife is used early into mid here by Lev. They're not going to have this one, at least for the first 30 seconds or so, for an exec into B, which looks like that's what they want to gear up for.
And we've seen both teams put a pretty heavy emphasis towards these halls lurks. Tex going for it, Trent watching for it.
Slow round.
And again, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, does G2 have these level of game plans once we get to the attack side? But we'll have to wait to see all about that. Here, Lev takes some elbow control. And Comms is still in a good position to go for his Hunter's Fury.
Well, Knife's back online, and that's going to signal a chance to really move forwards. Knife is actually dodged here. Leaf setup. Still alive and kicking. Throwing through the choke. Double flash is being utilized here by Mizzino, just underhanded in their approach. Valen, though, is cut it up. Still this war they've got to deal with. They don't really know how far these players have actually committed, but impeccable work. Leaf with a crosshair placement. Drops up and props up that cage, but still Aspas claims it's one of the kills. 4v4 now, Pit. Dropped down by King. In through the back lines, and Valen, a necessary agent there. He's trying to sow some chaos, but he's not able to get it done. Clone ignored. Decay still there. King gives up the Pit because they know exactly where Icy is. Spammed away, bullet type down to single digits.
And a nice round executed by Leviatán. Creeping up behind that defensive wall. It's not their attack side wall that was being up there, but really nicely used G2's wall to their favor. I gotta say, this is the Aspas round that we've been waiting for.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking about the fact that we expected him to be the star player for Lev on this map, on the attack side, on the defense side, both. And here, picking off both of those B-site anchors, making things winnable for his team.
Operator investment here for Icy. And a mid-play by G2. This is aggressive. Orbs up. They know this is clear. They've got plenty of players in front of it looking to punish the solo lurk plays. And King is in danger. There's really, no exit strategy. He's going to have to fight his way out.
Yeah, his angles are good, though, when he tucks in that corner. As long as he doesn't get timing, he's probably going to find his way out, and this is going to be horribly awkward in mid. Yeah, could be for either team. It just depends who gets the info first.
6 cents for King for him to back away, but as the cage goes up, they're just not making any noise. They're creeping up behind them, and plenty of targets. A rich environment, but can they drop them? Only the one.
It's the spike, though, that's been dropped in tunnel.
What a critical misplay. King with the timing, taking it past it. No one was covering that drone. The reclear from Trent. Spam into the box. Lev have got that firepower. They could manage to carve out a path, but it all comes down to this. These fights right here, Leaf. Tip-tap just dancing around the pillar. Valen getting caught and chewed up there by the trip. So now it is a chaotic beginning.
Spike
potentially
down,
end
B.
this entire round.
Not a great play by Tex there, swinging on his own, allowing Jonah P to pick up a free one. Another swing alone into 2 players, like you're saying, from G2. Need more coordination from Lev in those kind of spots. And now it's all down to King trying to make a miracle happen again.
There's just no time with the position that they've got. Have to pull off the impossible.
10 seconds left.
Only a few seconds left at this point. Yeah, will fall. 8-2.
A pull on the spike as well. G2 holding passively in a few of the rounds that we saw prior, and then decided to go for a much more aggressive look. Not necessarily stomping their way down mid, though, quietly tucking themselves into crossfire positions. That setup would have been amazing against an A split, and then as soon as Tex threw his first cyber cage, they realized it was a B split and were able to get that timing behind as well. Of course, it could have gone badly for them if anybody on Lev had taken a look back towards mid, but it's an unexpected spot to clear.
Get out of
Another round, I'm afraid, where you're looking at Aspas to try to make miracles happen for Lev.
But he's blinded up. Can't take a fair fight there, not against Icy, and Icy gets out of dodge, commits to TP nice and early.
It was G2 that only got 2 rounds on their attack side last these two teams faced. Lev could be held to the same here. Trent with another nice timing
This
down.
is so proactive by G2.
Yeah, they're finding amazing
But
gaps.
it's being watched. Any overextension by Trent would be punished.
He heard a footstep.
He did. Should be making a call. They'll know it, no. At least with the Viper wall going up. Trent, there's the punish. No horse lurk in action here. The players are working their way in, though, using the cages, but it does stop block the bullets. And still Jonah P not being cleared out. Dividing up the site, just splitting it up. Up trap, play by Aspas matters into his own hands. It's going to take more of that, I think, if they're going to stand a chance here in this particular round. Drone through and abound. Getting that tag, Aspas. He's hoping for a fair fight, at least potentially an easier one. Shock darts. Narrowly avoiding death and defeat there by Com, and now going to be sticking that plant. G2 will try and take these fights together. Valin, flank attempts occurring. Icy from behind. Everything falling apart.
A G2, they squeeze things down there. Amazing reposition from Icy, using that dimensional drift to ping out the locations of the Lev post-plant players, and then taking up a spot in A main that cut off another few angles for the rest of the team. Love how G2 are playing this one. Every defense setup works. I want to point out as well that when Jonah P is taking a fight on A, they don't bloom the smoke immediately. They allow Jonah to take a pick first, and then the smoke comes up from Valid. This is really nice usage of the Astra. It's not the basic stuff. They've got layers to what they're doing, if you couldn't tell already. This has been pretty much 11 rounds of excellence from G2. Even the rounds that they were losing, they had fantastic ideas.
I'd agree. Little moments where they just choose to switch up the tempo, past the conditioning, because it's all been slow play, not too much in terms of proactivity. Aggressive defensive plays here. One away for Mazzino to get that ult in the final round here, the first half. Util already flying forward. It's going to be delaying them. Aspas the only one who can really get into the sight. And the barrel just sticked out enough for them to collect Jonah P. Still revealed though, underhanded flash. No one really going to be revealed out into the open. Everybody playing anti towards it. Dart into the back clears it, and Aspas is eager to take some of that space. Map control for them. Hunter's Fury here. Popped off in time, Mazzino. He will survive, but a moment and a distraction is necessary. The Tex will just be causing all sorts of issues. And still not aware of it. Aspas, a deep pushed up position from all of that. Try Util onto the side. Tay cannot win the fight. Tap goes the rifles, but eventually the team there to clean it up for Leviatán. A 9-3 finish. Maybe not what they were looking for or anticipating.
Nowhere near what they were anticipating. Lev, coming into this, would have been expecting that they were the favorites. And that's all it took. Take away Jonah P, suddenly that smoke no longer has any danger. And that's the big thing that Lev was struggling with the whole time. A 9-3 half looks immaculate for G2, but last time they only got 2 rounds on attack.
Well, let's send it down to Smith. She's standing by with Shy, actually, at the co-sharing booth, someone who's deeply familiar with both of these teams.
Thank you very much, Josh and Bren. As you said, sitting here with Shy as well as Dan, thank you very much, Dryad, for the translations. Shy, I know that you obviously were on Leviatán last year. You're intimately familiar with Kingg and Mazzino. Obviously, Aspas was a power addition to that team. What do you think it is that he brings outside of the obvious fragging prowess?
Bueno, sabemos que conoces mucho a Leviatán estando con ellos el año pasado, que conoces mucho a Kingg y a Mazzino, pero con la adición de Aspas, ¿qué crees que le trae Aspas al equipo?
Siento que Aspas es uno de los mejores jugadores del mundo, uno de los mejores duelistas, y lo que más destaco que llegó al equipo fue esa calma de ser un jugador como que no se acelera y como que trae siempre calma al equipo, y sobre todo el firepower, y siento que ahora son uno de los equipos con mucha mira y demasiado firepower a la hora de jugar.
I think that Aspas is one of the best players in the world, one of the best duelists in the world, and what he brings to the team is that calm in tough situations, and bringing that calmness, and also bringing the firepower for the whole team.
Absolutely, and I feel like another player that has to help with that mood that you speak about is Kingg, the in-game leader. You obviously played under him. What do you think his strengths are as an in-game leader, especially in these tense best-of-5 situations?
Y alguien que conoces también mucho es a Kingg, que siendo el IGL, ¿cuál crees que es la fortaleza que tiene, especialmente en una serie de mejor de 5 como esta?
Lo que más destaco de él es sobre lo sincero que es a la hora de expresarse con el equipo. Conversé mucho con él ayer y lo que me decía es que por más que no esté tuviendo una buena serie, él siempre intentaba expresarse al equipo, intentar apoyarse para él volver y que el equipo también supiera que necesitaba como más de ello. Y como esa vibra que tiene de apoyarse en sus compañeros, siento que lo hace unirse más.
What I highlight from Kingg is how honest he is with the team. I talked a lot with him yesterday, and he was saying that when he's not having the best performance, he is relying on the team, and he's being honest about needing to rely on them and being honest about asking them to do more and to help out when not everybody's going their way.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for taking the time for this interview. Josh and Bren, back to you guys.
And we are straight back into the swing of things here. This is aggression. Off the rip by Lev, doubled up, creeping down into halls for G2. What is this anticipation? Spotting just the heads there. I think Icy maybe even just gate crash back into the action and they can't escape from it! Trent bites back, classic in hand.
Not turning to try to deal with that, not expecting the G2 would go for such a quick re-clear. 3v5, looking horrible for Lev. This map,
around, man.
I mean, it's gonna take something to pull this one back.
Really is. Maybe Mazzino could be the man to step up towards it, but just jumping around is too much to overcome. Swarmed! And as a 10-3 round differential, G2 with a pistol round win, looking inevitable.
G2 recently against 100 Thieves let a massive lead slip away from them to lose their spot in the grand finals of this tournament. But this time they're up 7 rounds, they're on an anti-eco, and so far they've demonstrated some incredibly good game planning on Breeze. So surely not again. They were very aware of that double push coming down halls on the pistol. We've got another double push happening over on the opposite side of the map there. Kind of this route through elbow. Leaf just monitoring that with his cam and his trip as the rest of G2 look to try to drive things into A.
Getting a tag as well. Com going to be backing away from that angle. Do they spot the player towards the back? It's a pull. Oh, Icy in danger. Certainly so, and more so. G2, they just can't quite really handle these kills. Leaf even a bit tenuous there into the mid angle. They are dropping like flies. Jonah P, how have you managed that? In the blink of an eye.
And I hope I haven't spoken it into existence.
Yeah, man, I mean...
This wasn't even a round where Lev forced into this.
No.
They had very little going for them in terms of the economy.
That is so confusing as to how that even happened. I mean, Icy getting caught out.
Yeah, I mean, didn't exactly see all of it from Icy's POV. But yeah, they're not aware of a recon dart that gets thrown in. Nobody breaks it. Icy's way ahead of the rest of his team. Oh. And yeah, doubled up to try to deal with Leaf, who was playing through mid as well. That is a rough one, but it's not going to matter if G2 can pick things up once Rifles get on board.
Aspas for the Outlaw. He's definitely got at least sights onto Jonah P.
You do not want Leviatán to build up any level of economy for Aspas to start opping. In this round, obviously, the Outlaw against no armor or light armor, that's going to be phenomenal. But once we get into rifle rounds, you can't allow Lev to build up crazy eco and just get it. That's how snowballs happen with Aspas.
Yeah.
He's going to be taking fights aggro, disrespecting your utility, and probably winning duels at long range on this map.
Full group up now from G2.
I go to Spike. Playing things quite slowly, looking to try to head over towards B. There's some very common execs that we'll be looking for here. Teleports into the back with an Astra Star. I actually saw Lev pinging that out during the halftime. So they're really aware of this kind of stuff, but this is different.
Yeah, okay. I mean, a bit of a fake gate crash. It was a knife that stunted the initial push, with Valen also falling and toppling Dart. Gonna be really aware. Look at it. Just gives a perfect time for Mazzino to spray down through into the smoke. What away from the ult, by the way.
Worth him chasing for the glory and for the ult.
And for the ace. Are they going to leave him alive? I mean, Aspas has got one bullet left. Oh, okay. Still.
Well, I think we're about to see the upgrade, I would imagine, because everyone on G2 is going to be buying full armor. So do they go for dropping an op for Aspas?
30 seconds.
Lovely round from Mazzino there.
Yeah, it is.
But round 16, this is where we see whether the comeback is real or not. I know that seems strange when they're 5 rounds behind still, but yeah, again, nobody going for the op purchase for Aspas. He's got to make this work with an outlaw against a team of full armor. Mistimed though by Lev. They needed that molly to come earlier so that the vulnerable was applied. I mean, still doing good chip damage.
Trent, he's going to be thanking his lucky stars, I think, that he's still alive here. But yes, good chip damage, but an ult gained.
We've also got this classic setup we see from both of the LATAM teams where you've got an opper there and somebody holding over towards elbow.
Aspas.
Here.
So he's directly down into it. I think G2 were jump spotting this one, even considering using a drone to clear him out.
Obviously, I say opper, but again, Aspas has to be using this more like a marshal, going for the headshots. He's aware of the eco. He knows that these guys should be using full armor.
Hard to cross into mid, but Lev. Pretty good read that this is going to be landing and ending over towards A. Com. Jump spotting, all the noise in the world being made. Oh my God, he just missed the timing on that one, and now he's going to be met with a couple of rifles and bullets. Players here through the wall. Might get lucky and claim a kill. No, instead it's Kingg who falls. Aspas forced to back away from this one. He can't take a fight close and personal, not with that outlaw into his hands. Flash is dodged by Mazzino, but Icy too quick with it.
G2 are going to get a nice post plant here. The Lev players not in position to go for any kind of fast retake and actually getting locked out by some of the Astra util as well. Not sure whether... No, Valen does not have any stars on recall, so he's not going to have that pull on the spike, but I don't think they'll need it. Maybe if Tex can root Valen out of this spot. And in fact, he does. So the game is on.
Yeah, the game is on. Like you said, not going to have any of that post-plant pull util. G2, a couple of players need to find their shots. Leaf, he's heating up. Drops it down to just the 2. And a reminder again, Aspas with the weaponry, it's not ideal. Time ticking. Leaf will take the peak and take the fight, but really his team should have this one in the bag.
Any damage here, though, is good. They've already knocked armor off Trent and Icy, but if they could take another weapon, unfortunately, yeah, this explosion is going to be between the 2 teams, stopping Lev from harassing the rest of the G2 players who get up to 11. So it's good damage from Lev on their bonus round, but they'll have been hoping for more there. A conversion would have been just what the doctor ordered to start a comeback from happening, or to start the comeback happening, I should say. Now that we're heading into the next round, though, almost guaranteed that Aspas is going to go for the operator.
Oh, yeah.
And here it is, round 17, Aspas op. And considering that G2 have been putting a premium on taking A main control and farming the orb and that kind of thing, and the fact that Icy is 1 away from the orb, I would be expecting Lev to be challenging A main with that. But they're not going for it. No, they're going to allow the ult to go the way of G2.
Down into mid. Orb in his face, though. Aspas can't really do much with that. Has to be worried about multitude of other angles, so he backs himself away.
The thing is here, as soon as you don't see Icy's ult come online in A main, you might be thinking that the route of G2 is somewhere completely else. That's why Aspas is trending over here. It doesn't feel like they've taken heavy A main because the Yoru ult didn't come online.
Look how concerned he is that they've looked their way up through mid.
I think they've got a great read here just because that ult orb hasn't been taken onto the premium target.
They can hear it. Footsteps, at least. Aspas knows that something's up. Door opened up. Throw now straight through. Kingg is locked in his position here. Bit of a one and done now, and the approach comes down into the double door angle. How does Trent go down to the util? Still, Mazzino is ducking and dodging it. Kingg! This guy was never in trouble.
He knew there wasn't any real pressure coming from A main. He dealt with that target and then swung around and added another 3 to it on the G2 players splitting through double doors. What is that?
Time for Kingg to step up.
Yeah, Mazzino and Kingg, the 2 core players from Leviatán, showcasing why they've survived the chops and changes on this roster and its evolution into a super team. Look at that. He's been so great in spots like that. And he's helped Leviatán start the comeback in reality now. This is where you start to knock G2's eco down.
I can't believe this by Aspas. At least the window angle being held. Dash is popped and active, but no one's going to be giving him any sort of easy kills. In fact, spotted by the cam.
It's actually the fight over towards A main that is most dangerous for Lev, I think. That flash doesn't even catch up to anyone.
G2 want nothing to do with it.
Yeah, they have. I mean, Lev boldly have full read cleared out A main in this timing. That's going to give them plenty of info. But G2 have been playing around mid control, and so that's where Aspas is focused, not towards B. A drone, though, from Com clears through double doors as well, so they're very confident it's not an A split.
And they're starting to stack it with players too. They have a knife and a lot of delay util. There's the first one.
This is
the sent flying nade as well.
Potential for that TP into the...
Oh, they don't want to take it.
Yeah, well, actually, I think they were
in the process by the knife, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So lovely play by Mazzino there, disrupting that execute. Normally be a gate crash into the smoke.
I get worried about the time here for G2.
Kingg could win the round again.
I absolutely could. Still locking it down here. Even with the pistols in hand, it's a beautiful flash. Oh, he managed not! Bats it away.
Better to be lucky than good, and King's got both, hasn't he?
12 seconds left. Leaf, got to go down here. Take a fight. Don't want to be saving that one into the next. So this is Lev. Like you said, the comeback is on at this point. It's not a huge round buffer they've got to work with, of course. I mean, G2 only have to convert 2 rounds, but this might be the time to do it for them. Plenty of ults in the back pocket. Cornucopia of it.
Exactly. This is G2's opportunity to stop the momentum now that they have a bunch of ultimates online. King's been a menace, though, dominating towards A main. I think G2, rather than focusing on an ult play, might just want to make sure that any retakes over towards A get stopped. Aspas is going to challenge this take over towards elbow right at the start.
Again, full trust in the window position being held here with a cage. Popped up here, deep knife that's cross map.
Again, A main being re-cleared in this situation.
This proactivity means that Lev can heavy stack, but they've got to get the players to get a move on. Dimensional drift up, going to be spotting out Aspas, in fact, with a body block damage. Done, it's the assist, setting up Aspas! Oh, this guy will not be removed, I see. Got something to say about it, though. Get themselves onto the site, the pit down, into the post.
This
pit, chances here.
This pit is difficult to play around as the post planter because you just get pounded. Aspas on top, turret mode.
Yeah, they weren't expecting that one. I think Aspas updrafted just behind the Cosmic Divide. Obfuscated it. Any intent that he was going to be playing perched up. Now it leaves it to Jonah P. He's got the pit to maneuver around. Finds the first, finds a second, 5 HP. Molly, straight to the sky. Now retreats to a more defensible position. Spamming away. Aspas. Options running out.
Time.
Jonah P. This is a masterclass from him, and yet time has run out.
Outrageous from Jonah P.
Could not hunt him out of the pit, could not stiff him out.
Oh, and the operator goes as well. The economy is still good for Lev here, but G2 getting up to 12 in a round where Aspas was popping, and Tex got double kills defending the B site. I was ready to talk about the fact that pits like that are really hard to play around because your opponents can surround you. You don't have a safe back up against the wall position, but Jonah found the timing on both of those players. G2 have played a lovely game here, and they've found the individual moments when it matters.
Big hero Jonah plays, man.
Time to jump.
Deep knife again here, but this is a turning point for G2. Lev have managed to put an operator in Aspas' hands.
Leaf's position here is really nice as well.
I mean, that's the spam from Tunnel. Straight down when they see the orb popped up. Mazzino playing inside of it. He's got to be worried. No contestation, though, from G2. Not for now. Not that I've lost this player.
If Kingg goes for information, or Tex goes for information.
Have a repeat and punish. Aspas, quick. We're not quick enough to escape. The Ira G2, somehow this advantage situation turns to a 3 versus 3.
I don't think Kingg is making footstep noises here as he leaves the pit, so Leaf doesn't know he has a timing. But as soon as the pit drops, he's going to start thinking about it.
It's cross placement.
Should they head back to A here? Leaf's going to be giving them these kind of comms, but G2 are playing very spread right now. And King's positioning is pretty difficult to get a read on. Could get timing if Leaf was playing aggro, but he's He's not. He's just holding his position over towards
King's
A main.
going for a re-peek, potentially.
And the re-clear towards elbow.
Okay. 30 seconds.
30 seconds
G2.
left.
Which direction? King spotted. Sees 2. Going for the re-fight. Com. Drop down. Sat down towards the spectator seat. Almost the entirety for them. And guess what? They're going to be exiting them soon enough.
I know exactly.
Just G2 on the precipice here, taking this map. Make it nice and even, 1-1 here in this best of 5 lower finals. And there it is. Final kill into Mazina will seal it up there. So here we stand, 1-1 in our best of 5. A map that we really were trending towards the direction of Leviatán to have all the advantages.
And Lev couldn't get themselves online. There's a chance that that defense side would have ended up running out for them if they hadn't given away as many in the first half.
Yeah.
But G2's game plans were so good. This swap up of getting the Astra involved in their composition paying massive dividends. And both teams have stolen each other's map pick. And really making us question what we know about both of the squad's map pools as well. If G2 have Breeze that they can now rely on, maybe we need to start thinking differently about this squad. I think potentially underrated in their run through playoffs because they've looked like a different team.
They have entirely, man. I mean, the whole qualification process in stage 1, they were fluctuating, wins and losses. And now in the best of 5, you really get tested in terms of that map pool. It's one of the overarching questions we had for both of these teams was really just checking out the form, seeing how they're going to look. They both made Shanghai, but well, time for a quick break. When we return, the analysts, of course, going to be getting us nice and ready for that map number 3.